second thoughts, we never have regrets. We give our total effort, we always give our best. We never make excuses, we never choose to fail. We always stand committed, we never choose to bail. We're always in position, at attention in our place. We never stop believing, we never lose the faith. We are always motivated, we are always inspired. We are always dedicated, we're always on fire. We all that, we know that, we bad, we wild, we go.
What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another My Midweek Motivation. This is Darrell D here, welcoming you to another episode of My Midweek Motivation. And this week's My Midweek Motivation topic is the word what? Character. My favorite word, character. We're going to talk about character today. So what is character? Let's define it. First of all, it's a distinctive trait. It's pretty simple, right? A distinctive trait. A behavior typical of a person or a group, right? So after a while, your behavior, the way you pattern yourself, that becomes your character. Also, moral strength. Moral strength. You know, we're in the election season, and sometimes when we're looking at candidates, we want to see who has that moral strength, who has good character, somebody we feel like we can trust maybe or depend to do that job. Reputation. Reputation is another word that defines what character is. Your reputation. Character describes who you are. It's your personality. So, what's your description? If character describes who you are, what is your description? How does your character describe you? That's what we're going to look at today with the word character. All right. The dominant trait of your character is how you will be characterized. Think about that. The dominant trait of your character is how you will be characterized. And sometimes that characterization could be inaccurate. You know, for a long time, you know, just me naturally, I'm a quiet nature type person. I just don't talk a lot, right? And so some people have categorized me as being shy over the years, but that's not necessarily the case. But that's how my action advertised me as a shy person, because I was quiet nature. But see, over a period of time, people get to know me and say, oh, you're not shy at all. You're just, you know, quiet, reserved, laid back. And of course, and now they have begun to know my character, you see. So my action said one thing, but then my character really began to shine through about who I really was. So let's look at that very thought. You can't determine a person's character on a first impression. I hate to break it. I wish it was easier than that. I wish we could tell. I wish we could judge a book by its cover. But really, you just can't determine a person's character from a first impression. All my people, you know, you fall in love and you meet somebody new and you think they're the greatest thing in the world. You can't determine a person's character based on a first impression, all right? Because why? People can put on a show. People can be on their best behavior. People can learn how to present themselves well. People can create an image of how they want to be received. People create an image of how they want to be recognized or noticed, all right? But it's over a period of time that the real you or the real person begins to shine through, begins to come forth. So no matter what image you have projected or no matter what persona you have created for yourself, a little time, I'll be able to see the real you begins to shine through whatever image you create. That's just going to happen. It does that because character has the power to do two things. It will either reveal that you're not who you proclaim to be, or it will either confirm that who you genuinely are. That's what character is going to do. There's no way to stop character from happening because it's who you really are. So do your actions advertise who you really are? That's good. Character is like a magnet. It doesn't matter how far you try to get away from who you really are to prove a point. But guess what? Your character is going to pull you back in to what you really are. You may try to jump out and shine this way, but your character is going to pull you back to who you really are. Always, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether positive or negative, you will never rise above the limit of your character. I wish there were shortcuts, but there are no shortcuts. You will never rise above the limit of your character. You've seen this example, people around you, people in jobs you may have been on, you know, somebody who wants to be the boss. They always want to be in charge. They want to be the boss. They want to be, you know, above everybody. They want to be giving out the commands and the demands. And guess what? Within months of being promoted, guess what happens? The character reveals they can't handle that position. Why can't they handle that position? Because even if they had the skills or the talent to perform on that level, the character wasn't ready to sustain it. Wow. So on that same thought, the talent can get you there, but it's character that keeps you there. This is going to shock some of you right here. Even credentials don't create character. Credentials don't create character. There are some people who have great qualifications, but then there are some people who are people of great quality. That's the difference. That's where you want to be. Not just a person having great qualifications, but a person that has or is a person of great quality. That's character right there. That's good character. You may have charisma. You may have enough charisma to attract me, but do you have enough character to keep me? Because charisma creates attraction, but character creates connection. That's why I even think about it in your own life. There are some people, when you came in contact with them, you just felt good around them, and you just kind of felt drawn to them on a certain level, and you continue to pursue that. And when you were around them in other occasions, you felt good about it. But then after a while, you just kind of said, well, I liked them at first, but there's no real connection. There's nothing really. Why? Because the charisma was there to pull y'all together, but the character wasn't there to keep you together. You see? And that could be relationship, it could be business, it could be a ton of ways. All right? Some of you are skilled in your craft, and based on your skill set, you should be elevated to a high level. But you need good character to confirm that you're ready for that level. I'm going to say that again. Some of you have skills in your craft, and based on your skill set, you should be elevated to a high level, but you need good character to confirm that you are ready for that level. All right? So your character, is your character agreeing with you, or is your character in disagreement with you? Because your talent and your skills say you should be up here, but your talent says, no, you're not ready for that yet. Your character, all right? So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens as we get ready to wrap this up, because all I'm talking about is character today, all right? My favorite word. Every level of success has with it its own level of pressure. Every level of success is automatically built in to come with its own level of pressure that's right there with it. So if you lack character, your success will be short-lived. Oh, we see this so many times. Think about people who you consider to be successful. When you really think about it, there are other people who have similar skill sets as that person who we see as successful. But what makes the difference? How they handle pressure, how they handle adversity, how they handle the obstacles, how they handle the hard times. What kind of character do they have that sustains them? Whereas other people with the same skill set, they rise to a certain level, but then can't handle the pressure and they have to come back down. They can't handle the success, have to come back down to something. Why? What makes the difference? It's the level and the limit of your character. We already said it. You'll never be able to rise above the limit of your character, okay? Character is not about what you do. It's who you are. That's why you can't fake character. It's who you are. A good name, good character. Good character does this. It adds substance to your name. Good character will add substance. And I'm going to tell you why. Your name becomes trusted. Your name becomes recognized. Your name becomes credible. People can have confidence in you. Why? Because you have good character. Your name now carries weight, and people will consider you. But the opposite is also true. The lack of character makes your name shallow, and people will dismiss. No, I'll pass, if they're gracious. But then you begin to lose opportunities. The lack of character can cause you to have limitations put on yourself. You'll put delays on your own hopes and dreams because of the lack of character. All right? People with good character can be trusted with power because they can handle the power. They can handle the authority. They can handle the influence. They can handle the resources and not abuse it. Not abuse the people, not abuse the resources, not abuse the system. So people with good character can be trusted with power. People with good character can handle critique. People with good character can handle it, but if you lack good character, then you'll just think everything is instead of receiving it as a critique, you'll see it as a criticism, and you'll see the negative in it, and you'll be, you won't be able to handle that kind of negative pressure because you lack the character to say, hey, this is something that actually could help build me up. But you'll receive it as somebody trying to tear you down, all because of where your character is. And last but not least, people will talk about your talent or your ability when you show up, but they will talk about your character when you leave. It could be an interview. When you show up, we're going to talk about your ability. We're going to talk about your talent. What is it that you can actually do? But when you leave, we're going to talk about your character. It could be an audition. You come in, you put on the best show we've ever seen. Talk about your talent. We'll talk about your ability when you show up. But we'll talk about your character when you leave. So think about how you're going to leave people thinking about you. Not that you have control over that, because people can think whatever they want to think. And people can get the misunderstanding. But on your part, to present yourself with good character, to have good character, to have those good qualities about yourself. That's what you can do to elevate yourself. And then after a while, guess what? When somebody says, oh, they're no good, oh, he's no good, you have other people that will stand up and say, oh, no, I know them better than that. I know their character. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't say that. They wouldn't act that way. Now you have people who can come to your defense. Why? Because you've already presented yourself. There's a behavior that's typical. There's a distinctive trait. Now all of a sudden you have character. And with that character, hey, now you're characterized as somebody great. And that's what we like to see. Thank you once again for coming back to my midweek motivation. I hope you enjoyed this one word, my favorite word, which is character. So go forward and just continue to build good character and establish good relationships where you go. And I will see you again pretty soon on my midweek motivation. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, this is Darrell D. Kelly. I'll talk to you later.